Emily, and I'm a beauty amateur and a YouTube amateur. Welcome to my channel. Today I have two giant Boxycharm boxes to open. So these are their premium box, which is $35, and you get 6 items inside these boxes. They're full size makeup, hair care, skincare, etc. And they're supposed to be just like a slightly higher end brands than the stuff you would get in the normal base box. So I do have 2 boxes, and I'm going to open both of them just in one video. It's the January and the February premium box. I had unsubscribed from the premium box for a couple of months, and then when I resubscribed in January, it was like partway through the month, and it didn't get here until quite late into February, and then literally 2 days later, the February box showed up, so I figured I would just knock them out at the same time. This is the box that was for January. I did already open both. That one actually has a big hole in the bottom of it, so I just wanted to make sure that everything inside was intact, and I'm pleased to report that it is. So the first thing in here is from Ren Clean Skincare. It's their Perfect Canvas Clean Jelly Oil Cleanser. It says it removes makeup, SPF, and pollution with sunflower seed extract and meadow foam seed oil. It's cruelty-free and vegan. Next up is another face cleaning item. This is from PMD. It's their Silver Pure, silver infused microfiber makeup removing cloth. It says it's antibacterial, ultra soft, and reusable. So this actually comes in a cute little pouch. I like that you could probably reuse that if you were like traveling somewhere with it. If it was wet especially, you don't want it to get everything else in your bag wet. So it's a cute little square cloth. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the makeup eraser cloth. It's basically the same concept. Microfiber towel. I actually have one, and then I have a couple that are like kind of a knockoff brand that my sister gave me for Christmas. So it's got the short little fibers on the one side, and that's what you use. You just add water to it. You don't use any kind of soap or cleanser. The microfibers just kind of like remove all of your makeup, and then you're supposed to flip it over and use this side for exfoliating. In my personal experience, I find that even when I'm used this to remove my makeup, obviously I still need to clean my face fully afterwards. So I would rather just use a cleanser to get rid of my makeup in the first place, or like a micellar water or something. Especially because if you're cleaning off foundation or something, it gets dirty really quickly, and you have to just put it in the wash to clean it. You can't rinse it out quite as easily as you can with like a face cloth. So what I actually tend to use these for is that when I have mascara that's gotten leftover or overnight, or you know, it's kind of running and smudging under my eyes, I'll just wet like a corner of it, stick my finger in it, and then just wipe under the eyes, and I find it's really effective for that, even for like waterproof mascara or something. This next thing is from Summer Fridays. It's a jet lag mask. It comes in a little blue, silvery blue tube. It's supposed to be very hydrating, and it is cruelty-free. I actually heard that some people who received this in their Boxycharm actually had an adverse reaction to it, and I believe the company responded that they did an investigation and they found that a certain batch of the product had been compromised. So that's a little concerning. Which makes me a little wary to use it. Like, I already was planning on maybe giving this away to somebody. Now I definitely won't do that. I guess there's probably a way I could find out if this one is from the contaminated batch, but that also is just a great reminder if you're using a new skincare product for the first time to always patch test. So put it on your arm somewhere before you ever try using it on your face, because it'll probably save you a lot of pain and agony if you have an adverse reaction to it. The next 2 items in here are from Fenty Beauty that I'm really excited about. This one is their mascara, and it's just in the black shade. They also have a couple other shades, but I think those are actually only available in like a mini tube. I think there's a green one and a burgundy. So this is the tube. That's really pretty packaging. And the interesting thing about this mascara is the wand. So if I hold it that way, you can tell that it's got wider bristles, but then it also narrows, like it's flat on the 2 sides here. I'm not sure exactly what the reason for that is, like what effect that's supposed to have. It says it's good for volume, lifting, and curling, and it's long wearing. The next thing from Fenty is their Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. This one came in the shade Butter. I'm assuming they actually paid attention to different complexions for this variation, because I know the powder is available in a lot of different shades. So it comes in this beautiful jar. Like, I almost want to keep this out on my counter or something. It's so nice to look at. So it's an octagon shape, 8 sides, and I think their packaging is really interesting because they have like all these different geometric shapes. I know their lip gloss is like a pentagon shaped tube, and I think the highlighters and cheek product, the compacts, are also like 8-sided. So it's really unique and like really attractive. I just wanted to share, because I didn't notice this, if you're super unobservant like me and you got this Fenty powder There is actually a second compartment in the box that has a little plastic cover for the powder. So I'm actually going to open this now. Originally I wasn't planning to because I didn't want to make a mess with it, but if there's a way to seal it tightly again, then I might as well, just to try it out on camera. Whoop. That let up a nice cloud there. I'm going to take my super duper cheap Amazon powder brush and just kind of dust that on the back of my hand. I guess the hallmark of a good setting powder is that there's really nothing to see. It does seem to have a little bit of the slightest shimmer to it. Like this is not their glow powder, like it's just a setting powder. But anyway, it feels quite soft. It's supposed to be mattifying. It says it's light as air, photo soft finish. It recommends that you use their brush, obviously, which I'm not going to do because I do have a brush here. And I also have like a little powder puff that came with another setting powder that I use. It's got the letters on it, so you can just slot it in to the lid and it snaps in place quite nicely. So that ideally, I'm not going to tempt fate by tipping that upside down, but theoretically that's going to seal it in and prevent you from spilling and wasting your powder. I was also thinking about how this seems really big, like it seems like there's quite a lot of powder in there. And I looked it up. I'm saying I looked it up, it's literally right in the box. It's 28 grams. Other setting powders, I think I looked at the Too Faced Peaches and Cream one and one other loose powder, maybe the Laura Mercier. That was probably it. They're usually in that range, which I was kind of surprised because that is actually like a pretty good amount. The powder that I use on a daily basis, which is the Becca Hydra-Mist, I think, something like that. It's only 10 grams, and I've had that forever. So this powder is going to last me a real long time, which is always good when you want to get better value out of your beauty product. So thanks, Fenty. The last thing in this particular box is a palette from Ofra. Now this one I did actually open already, and I actually used it today. So it has one big highlight in the middle, but it's split into 4 sections. So there's like a rosy section, a more champagne section, and then kind of a bronze and a rose gold section. You have bronzer, we have blush, and then 6 eyeshadows. So this one that's kind of like a mustardy yellow orange, and then this red one, those are full mattes. This one looks matte probably from a distance until you get real up close to it. It's actually more of a peach, and then it has light sprinkling of sparkles in there. These 3 are all metallic, and their metallics are really beautiful. Ofra's really well known for their highlighters that are very like pigmented and gleaming, so it does not surprise me at all that their eyeshadows are similarly beautiful. This blush actually didn't come across as pigmented as I was expecting. It's kind of a pink, a little bit a hint of coral in it, and I would probably apply it with a bit more of a heavy hand next time I use it. And the bronzer is just like a basic kind of brown. One thing that's nice about all of their palettes is that they're really easy to remove the pans. So you'll notice there's like a little notch in each side here. So you can actually pry them up with something, and if you wanted to put them into a different magnetic palette, if you had something that would fit in here, you could even replace some of these and kind of customize your palette. I do wish it had a mirror. It has this lovely little message, "Smile, you are beautiful," on the top, which is very sweet, but it's not very helpful if I have lipstick on my teeth. So what I did today was I really just used these 3 shades and a little bit of that one. I used this one at the top, this one on the lid, that one a little bit on the lower on the lid, closer to the lash line, and then I used this on the outer half of the eye. I'm also wearing a combination of these 2 shades from the highlighter as well as the blush and a little bit of the bronzer. I'm going to quickly swatch the Ofra palette on my arm for you. So there are actually names for each of these shades. There's a label on the bottom of the palette. So this one is Clean Slate. Then we have Reset, Fresh, Ready, Ambition, and Goals. This one is called All of the Lights, which makes sense because it's all of the highlighters. The blush is called Intentions, and then this one is called Current. That's current with an E, as in the thing in a river, not as I first assumed currant, as in the berry, which is spelled with an A. So, just so you know. I'm pretty sure at least the 3 face powders are all available individually on the Ofra website, so if you just wanted one, you could go pick one up. I have no idea about the shadows, whether they're new or just being repackaged, but they sure are pretty. Look at that shine. Quickly, here's my arm. There is, I've already forgotten all the names. That's Clean Slate. So, oh, can you see it at all? It's got a little bit of a light sparkle to it. Here's Reset. I'm gonna do the other matte one next. That's Ready. I did notice that that didn't swatch as cleanly as the other ones, even when I did it like the other day. Here's Fresh. That one is so pretty. Look how metallic that is. Ambition is this like really pretty bronzy brown. And then Goals is this, I don't really know how to describe that. It's kind of a copper, but it also kind of has like a hint of rose gold in it. So there are those. You can see that the metallics are really, really reflective. Here are the swatches of all the cheek products, beginning with the bronzer, then the blush, then each of the quadrants of the big highlighter. That final shade close to my wrist is the result of swirling my finger around through the entire highlighter. There weren't very many items that you could have potentially received in the January premium box. The one that I know was a choice item is the Fenty powder that I received. It looks like they had a whole bunch of different shades. I think these are all the ones that Fenty offers. So that's pretty great. If you want to be more inclusive, you have to get inclusive with all of your complexion products, including powders. So the one that I got was butter, so it's like the second lightest. I'm sure that'll be fine. Most of my powders are on that end of light. It's a little bit yellow, but I, again, don't really mind. The other choice item was this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick eye color. So something I learned fairly recently is apparently Laura Mercier actually came out with like the first ever eyeshadow stick crayon type of product, which is this one. And they had all these different colors, so you could have chosen the color itself. I was really interested in the blue or this kind of plummy burgundy shade. Unfortunately, I didn't get to choose my item for January because I did subscribe partway through the month. You have to be subscribed like at least the month before to get your choice because they open quite early. And I'm happy with the powder. I was just interested in this one. This Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist setting spray appears to be like everywhere. Like they have a tab right here that says February base box, and I think it was actually in a box a while ago as well. I didn't get it, but I remember seeing it around before, so some people got that in their premium this month. I think you might have gotten that instead of either the cleanser or this thing, because I know everybody got the jet lag mask, everybody got the palette. I got the Fenty Beauty mascara. I think the Laura Mercier lipstick might have been a replacement for the mascara. So you might have ended up with 2 Laura Mercier products, or like I did, you might have ended up with 2 Fenty products, or you might have ended up with one of each. These actually look really pretty. I had tried one a while ago. I don't remember what color it was. It was kind of like a reddish pink. They might just not have it here, but I remember it being very comfortable. The packaging is like a little square, and it looks really fancy. So that's cute. And then the other thing that I didn't get is this Lashes MD Eyelash Growth Serum. It says it's $70. I would never have paid that much for a lash growth serum, and honestly, I've been blessed with pretty nice eyelashes, so I don't think that's the type of product that I would ever use, and therefore I'm kind of relieved I didn't get it, but that definitely would increase the value of your box a fair bit. Overall, I was thrilled to get 2 Fenty products. I really liked the palette, could have done without the cleanser, and I'm skeptical of how safe that face mask is, but overall, I was quite pleased with the value of the box, so there we go. So the prices for this box, I was able to find both Fenty items and the Ren cleanser at Sephora in Canada. So I know with certainty the prices for those. The others I just did conversion of what the American prices say. Actually, Sephora sells Summer Fridays, but they don't have this mask listed on their website, and I'm wondering maybe they removed it because of the issues with people having bad reactions. So anyway, to start with, this is worth $48 US, which would be $61 Canadian. The Ofra Cosmetics palette is $39 US, which works out to about $50 Canadian. The Fenty Beauty powder is $32 US or 42 Canadian, and the mascara is $24 US, 32 Canadian. The cleanser is $32 American, which is about $42 Canadian. And this makeup remover cloth is $30 American, which is about $38 Canadian. And more money than I would pay for something like this. So each individual item comes pretty close to covering the price of the box. In total, it's worth a value of $205 American or 265 Canadian. I think my favorite item in this box would have to be the palette, just because I think the shades are pretty and I think Ofra's quality is really great. I have used some of their products before. I have a highlighter and a blush from them, and a couple lipsticks that I really like. So I was excited to receive this. Also, everybody would have gotten this in their January box and would have gotten the mask in their box. Everything else was a variation item. Overall, I'm probably not going to use the mask because I'm a little bit afraid of it. The cleanser, I'll try. I will definitely use this thing, and I'm happy with the mascara and the powder. So I would say 4.5 out of the 6 are things that I'm excited to add to my collection. Okay, on to box number 2. It is clearly a different day, as you can tell by my shirt and my hair, and most importantly, my makeup. It's actually Valentine's Day today, which is why my nails and my eye makeup is so pink. I actually did this using the Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette, which I got in my February box. You can watch that video. I'll link it below somewhere. So this one is now the February premium box. All right, first up, there's a giant bottle in here, very heavy glass. It's from Eau de Cité, California. It says it is their Blue Aura Turmeric and Holy Basil Cleansing Water. So it is a micellar water. It says that holy basil and turmeric are infused in aloe vera juice, paired with salicylic acid and grapefruit to sweep away dirt, makeup, and pollution in one easy step. So if you've never used micellar water before, generally speaking, you just pour a little bit out of the hole in the top onto like a cotton pad or something, and then you can just wipe away your makeup. I would recommend still washing your face afterwards, but it's pretty good for makeup removal. It's pretty fast and effective. This one looks a lot fancier than the like $8 Garnier one that I use. So that's definitely a product I will try out. The next item is from Rodial. It is their Soft Focus Glow Drops. So this is actually like a glow primer. I've heard of this before. I don't know if Boxycharm has had it before. I've seen, I think maybe it was a FabFitFun box where they were offering this. It's got like it's actually a bigger bottle than I was expecting. I thought it would be a little shorter than that. So that's good that you get a lot in here. It's pink and it's got a little dropper in the top. I'm just going to rub this on the back of my hand. I think I put the lid back down too fast and it kind of exploded out of there. Okay. So there isn't really anything to see. It's just blending in. Actually, smells quite interesting. I don't know how I would describe that scent. It's like kind of a natural smell. Like maybe it's like ginseng or something. No, it doesn't really say. I don't know. It's not like overwhelming. It's not chemically or anything. It's gonna bother me that I can't figure out what that is. But it's a pleasant smell for sure. Like fresh, refreshing. So I can see a little bit of like illumination on the back of my hand. It feels not tacky, but like it would help your makeup stay in place. It claims that it will achieve a soft focus glow, perfect base for makeup, dewy skin effect, and antioxidant benefit for healthy looking skin. Moving on, the third thing in here is from Alamar Cosmetics. It is their primer. It's like an eye primer. So I actually, when I first saw this, I thought I might have gotten this in a box before. I am now realizing that I don't think I did. I think I got a pretty vulgar eye primer instead that just has very, very similar packaging. I think this was in a previous box, but not one of my previous boxes. So don't really know what else to say about that. It's an eye primer. It's sticky. It helps your eyeshadow stay in place. This is the Tarte Double Take Eyeliners. I didn't know about this one. It's a double-ended eyeliner. So on the one side you have the standard like felt tip black eyeliner. And then on this end it's like a gel pencil. So there's a very fine point to it and you can see it twists up. So that one's actually really good for like super fine lines. I don't tend to wear black liquid liner that frequently. It's maybe like a once or twice a week kind of thing. My go-to eyeliner is a brown kohl pencil, which is from Annabelle. It's available at the drugstore. And honestly, it's mostly just a fear thing. Like I have better control over the pencil. I don't generally do like a winged eyeliner or like a cat eye look just because I don't have the skill for it. And I find that kind of thing a little bit intimidating. A lot of subscription boxes just give out black eyeliners left and right. So I have like a collection of 5 or 6 that I don't think I've even opened. But this one I have heard in particular really good things about. I like that it's dual ended, so you have a couple options. And it seems good quality, so I will try that eventually. This is my choice item for the month. So this is from Laura Mercier. It is their Matte Radiance Baked Powder. I got mine in the shade Highlight. Really doesn't want to come out of the box. So it's got a bit of like a domed lid there. This is really big. And you have to like push a button to open it. Whoop, little plastic guy on top falling off. So it's a baked powder. You might be able to see there's like a dome shape to it. There's a nice big mirror in there. I really appreciate that. I can see my whole face rather than just one eye at a time. So although the shade is called Highlight, I don't think this is intended to be used just as like a highlighter here, like where you would put a highlighter, because all the other shades in this powder are deeper, and they say like bronze or something. So I think it's actually more of like, not a contour powder, but if you know about Hourglass at all, they have powders that are supposed to be used to kind of give you like a luminous finish, and you apply them like not just at the top of the cheekbones. Like you can use them kind of all over the face, and they're a little bit more natural and they're a little bit more light reflecting, but not to the point of being like sparkly or glittery. So if I do swatch this on the back of my hand, it's pretty soft. Like a lot came up there. You know, it has a bit of shine, but it's not really that noticeable. So I think this is supposed to be more for like lightening certain areas of your face rather than just being a highlighter. But I am really excited to get this because Laura Mercier products are really high quality. They're usually really expensive, and that's what I really wanted to get in this box. It actually has a bit of instructions on the box here. It says, for natural luminosity, apply powder to the high points of the face like cheekbones, center of the nose, cupid's bow, and top of forehead. So that is more of like a natural sort of radiance type of finish. I would say if you were looking for this to be like really glittery or really shimmery, you would be disappointed, but I am excited to try it just to give a little bit more radiance. Last but not least, I have the Huda Beauty Pastel Obsessions Lilac palette. So there were 3 of these, and the box had one of the 3. It comes also in a pink and like a mint green palette. So it's a 9-pan, like a lot of Huda's palettes. I think the packaging is really cute. Like it's got that kind of explosion shape behind the text there. Almost makes it look like a cartoon. Okay, so there are the shades there. There are 5 matte shades and 4 shimmers. One of the shimmers is this one, which they've started doing this in a lot of Huda palettes where they've sort of blended 2 colors together. And I'm really intrigued to see how that looks. And then there's, of the 5 mattes, there are 2 that are more in like the peachy neutral family, and then some like pinky lilacs, obviously. And then the one shimmer is a little more pink as well. So I was really excited to try one of these. I did do a little bit of research before the box showed up, and they apparently do not have great reviews, like any of the pastel palettes. Either they're like, oh, they're so patchy, or it says like that they wear off really quickly, that it's hard to like make them show up on the lids. It's a good thing I got an eye primer in this box because I'm probably gonna have to use them together. But this is actually a nice color family. I don't have a lot of purple eyeshadows in my collection, and the ones I do have tend to skew darker. So it's nice to get something that's a little lighter, nice little compact size, and hopefully I will be able to make it work for me. Here's a close-up of the Huda Pastel Lilacs palette. I am going to do some quick swatches, but I don't know how well they're going to turn out just based on everything I've heard about these shades being powdery. So there's the one from the upper left corner. It's pretty good. Now let's do this bottom, also left corner. That one's a really light, pale lilac. Bottom right corner is more of a deeper purple, like a blue purple. That's pretty nice. The bottom middle, which is like a peach shade. I can't see it on the camera too well. It's visible to me. Take my word for it. And then this very center one, which is like a kind of a mauvey pink. So let's do the shimmers next. The pink one on the left. That's pretty. Like a nice rose gold kind of glitter. This darker blue purple one at the top. Can you see it on my finger? That one is kind of visible, this like straight purple. Okay, so that one actually, it kind of spread out a little bit, like you can't see it that well. And then there's this one, this interesting kind of mixed together shade that just comes across purple on my finger, but those hair elastics. Yeah, so that's this one here. There's a little bit more depth to it, I think probably because it's got that mixture of two shades. But yeah, the shimmers are not super exciting. I actually kind of set myself up for disappointment with the mattes, and then they turned out okay. And I'm excited to try these out on the eyes. Here are the possible products from your February premium box. Again, it's a little bit difficult for me to tell exactly which items were a variation for another item. So I got the Eau de Cité cleansing water here. There was also a Farsali Rose Gold Elixir moisturizing gel, which has like gold flakes in it. I don't know how effective those are for skincare, but they certainly look fancy. There's also this Glam Glow Super Mattify Clarifying Oil Control Face Primer. So I hadn't heard about this before. I had seen pictures of this before, and I assumed it was like a mask of some kind, because a lot of Glam Glow's products are more in like the cleaning your skin category. But this one's actually a primer for acne-prone skin that you apply, and it like mattifies your skin and helps your makeup stay on more smoothly without oil breakdown. And the packaging just looks really cool. Almost looks like a something out of like a sci-fi movie. There was a KVD Vegan Beauty lash primer, and then there was also a mascara from KVD. So I think the mascara was a choice item, as was this Pure Submerge Overnight Detox Anti-Pollution Moisturizer, which also like kind of has futuristic packaging. If you look at the lid there, it almost looks like a UFO. And so is this from Elemis, which is the Musclease Active Body Oil, which I found really interesting. Like, if you're a person who works out a lot and you get like really tired and sore muscles, this is supposed to help with that. So I don't know how effective it is. Obviously, I haven't tried it, but that's such a neat concept. And it's $63 worth of product, because Elemis is usually pretty expensive. There's also this Peptide Plumping Pillow Facial. And then there was the Laura Mercier powder, which I chose. There's also a Tarte Maneater Mascara, which is something that I got in a previous box. I think it was my base box for December. There's also this Ofra Cosmetics Pressed Banana Powder, which was a choice item in a different month. Again, I want to say December. Maybe November? So I got this, and I got that. This Eloise Beauty Metallic Foiled Liquid Eyeshadow was something that I picked up in an add-on sale. It's only $3 now. When I got it, it was $6. This is so beautiful. It's smooth, it's metallic, obviously. It lasts a long time. It's got like very nice pigmentation to it. I cannot recommend this enough. I know it looks like a nail polish bottle though, but it is an eyeshadow. Up here there was also this Valley Balm, which you might have seen if you watched my January base box unboxing, because I got that month. This Ren cleanser as well. I literally just got that earlier in this video in the January premium box. So they seem to be doing a fair number of repeats. I don't know if they just have stock that they're trying to get rid of, but I really hope that that doesn't result in people getting the same item twice, because that would be really annoying. There's the eyeliner I got. There's this Love Script Décolleté and Neck Cream Leave-On Mask. Oh my god, were we masking our necks now? That's a little too extreme for me. It might have like anti-aging properties, I don't know. And then there's the Huda palette, which everybody this month was supposed to get one of them. So obviously I got the lilac one. There was also it doesn't help, that's not the palette. Let me see. There's also the pink one, which looks like that and has like a pop of yellow, and the mint green one. I think out of the three, I would have liked the pink one a little bit better, but I'm happy with purple. So that's the end. So there are fewer variations than there are for a base box. I don't know why they do that. And then there's also some items that had been in other base boxes before, now being brought to the premium. I was thrilled with the palette. I really liked the powder. And so I think I'm going to give this 5 hearts. So the items in this box I would say that I am most excited about are definitely the eyeshadow and the highlight powder. I'm excited to try the glow drops as well, just because I've heard really good things about them. Although I do have like quite a lot of primers already that I'm trying to use up, so I don't know how frequently I'll end up using them. I can't remember what each of these boxes is supposed to have for a value, but I've found that typically they are around the $200 US mark. So the Huda palette is $29 US. On Canadian Sephora, they're $37. I did actually notice they're on sale right now for $22, but the pastel ones are sold out. So I don't know if that's because they're maybe discontinuing them or what. Most of her other 9 pans are also on sale as well right now. The Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder is $44 American, $55 Canadian. The Soft Focus Glow Drops are $60 American, $73 Canadian. Not at Sephora, I found them on some other website. That's a lot of money. So now I'm doubly glad that I got to try this without paying that much. This cleansing water is $39 American, $53 Canadian. The Tarte eyeliner is $24 American and $32 Canadian. I was able to find that at Sephora. And then the Alamar Cosmetics is $15 for the primer, $19 Canadian, but actually they don't even ship to Canada, so you wouldn't be able to get this unless you got it as like a Boxycharm add-on or something. And then you wouldn't be paying that much for it anyway. In total, the box is worth $211 US or $269 Canadian, which is pretty darn impressive, considering you pay like $35 American for this box. Also, I do like to point out when things are cruelty-free and or vegan, just because while I don't personally stick strictly to either one of those things when I'm buying makeup, I know some people do and it's helpful for them. So this one is vegan. And the eyeliner is cruelty-free as well as vegan. None of the other items were marked specifically as either one. So they may be or they may not be. All told, I was really happy with this box. I like basically everything in it. I'm probably going to use everything in it sooner or later. I found it kind of unusual that we got 2 different types of primer in a single box. And then there's 3 things that are actual makeup. And you know what's funny is that between this and the last month's premium box is that they've started just giving us stuff to take the makeup off with. So that's helpful, I guess. You do have to take it off eventually. I think I prefer this box over January's just because January had more skincare. I'm a little more excited about this palette, although I did really like the Ofra one. I think both were good value for the money I paid. I think both of them contain things that I was excited to get, which is basically the reason I resubscribed to premium, because not every month do you have to feel obligated to pay for another box, especially right now when you may or may not be wearing makeup every day. You know what's funny though? I did notice, I haven't gotten a lip product from them in quite a while. So thinking back, I got 2 lip liners in the February base box, and then I got a lip balm and a lip mask in the January base box. But I got nothing in either of these premium boxes, and even actually my most recent Ipsy bag, which was January, I got a balm and nothing else. I think that's kind of unusual. Like when I first subscribed to Boxycharm, you were basically guaranteed that you were going to get some kind of eyeshadow and a lip product of some description in every single box, and now I haven't gotten one in the last 2 months. So where's my lipstick at, Boxycharm? I know a lot of people have been saying that they're not wearing lipstick or even any makeup at all lately because they're wearing a mask if they do go out, when they do go out, rarely. And so it kind of wouldn't surprise me if they were kind of taking that into account and maybe focusing on other types of makeup. But having said that, I've seen in like the variations that they've listed on the website that there are lip products being put into some variations of the box, but just not me, apparently. Anyway, that's not a big deal. I like lipstick, so I kind of am hoping I get another one soon. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. If you want to watch my video about this February base box, it'll be linked in the description below. And I also have a Boxycharm playlist of all of my unboxings, so you can check that out as well. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.